As you can see, our good friend Cyrax here looks like he's having a whale of a time. That's how I want to be light and breezy when it comes to anxiety. And I'll tell you a bit more about why I do this a little bit later on. So the first thing I want to talk about is breathing. How do you breathe? Not just when you're stressed, but generally in your life, how do you breathe? I remember I was talking to a breathwork practitioner once, and she said, how many places can you breathe from? I said, oh, like your nose and your mouth. She was like, no, never your mouth. I was like, whoa, okay, why not? She goes, your mouth is for eating and drinking. Your nose was designed for breathing. It's an intelligent design. Stop messing with it. I was like, oh, wow. She said, even when you're running, never breathe through your mouth. I was like, okay. Breathing contributes so much to what we're feeling in the body and in the mind. So an invitation for you is consider this. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and out for 4 regularly. Make it into a habit. I used to do this a lot when I was first getting started in like sorting out my mental health. I used to have crippling anxiety and depression. I couldn't get out of bed in the morning, couldn't talk to people, couldn't do social things. It was all overwhelming to me. And I was breathing like into here, short, sharp, and shallow. And like just not even realizing it. I'm not talking about like a dog. I'm talking about like you don't even notice you're doing it. The first thing is become aware of your breath. How are you breathing? The second thing that I want to talk about is feelings versus reality. Okay, so let's say you walk into a group setting. It could be a clothing store, it could be a party, it could be a job interview, I don't know, whatever, right? Take your pick. You walk in and you feel like you don't fit in. You feel like everyone's judging what you're wearing. You feel like you're not going to get it. You feel like everyone's more qualified than you. This is your feelings. It has nothing to do with objective reality. They're two very different things. Objective reality, your feelings, they don't impact it. None of that stuff could be true. Just because you're feeling it doesn't make it true. And this is not about turn off your feelings and shut down emotionally and become a robot. It's about understanding privilege in a feeling. You get to feel. It's a privilege, right? It's something nice. I never want to turn it off. It's beautiful. And it comes with responsibility. Just because you get to feel, it doesn't mean that everything you feel has a meaning. When you put a meaning on a feeling, that's when you start creating problems, especially when it comes to anxiety. I'll tell you a bit more about this in a minute. Event and interpretation is number 3. So let's say you get fired from a job, or you didn't get the job, or you at the party you went to, no one talked to you and you ended up sitting in the corner with the dog, which sounds like a great time to me. These are events. But what we do sometimes, which creates like more problems later on, is we create an interpretation of this event. Oh, no one talked to me at the party, so it means this. No one talked to me at the party is the event. The interpretation we've got is, oh, that means I'm not good in parties. So from that interpretation, the next event we create is, I don't go to parties. But the event on its own doesn't mean this interpretation. Again, like objective reality and what we think are two very different things. And it's really important that we get clear on this. Otherwise, we can go our whole lives just creating more and more of a mess everywhere we go for ourselves and other people. You get more and more closed off into this little box of, I don't go there and I don't do that because of this. It doesn't have to be the case. You can be free of that. You can choose to do whatever you want. You can create who you want to be. Objective reality, we talked about it a few times. This is number 4. Objective reality will help you so much with dealing with anxiety. And I'll tell you about this now. Anxiety is not a condition. It is not something that's just going to jump on you one day and now you have it. It doesn't just fall from the sky. It has to be created. So objective reality, there's limitless possibilities. In our subjective reality, in whatever we think, there could be anxiety. There's like, oh, I'm hesitant about this, I'm worried about that. Objective reality and your subjective, whatever you think could happen, two very different places to come from. If I'm coming from what I think could happen in the future because of what's happened in the past, I'm limiting my experience of life. I'm closing it off into a tight box, and it's not very malleable, it's not very pliable. If I'm willing to look outside of what I think will happen based on the past, I can create a future that looks nothing like the past. That on its own, brothers and sisters, will set you free from any of this stuff.